The Indiana fever system isn't her thing, dude. I mean, I do occasionally wish I could return to college. Fun was had. I had a fantastic time without Caitlin Clark, especially while the ball is out of play. I don't think the Fever will win another game. Before the ball enters the game, we will foul, which is one thing. She was missing Lisa Blutter. They ran the offense in a way that she missed. Even now in a professional setting, I wonder how people don't know where to relocate. It's like mind-blowing. The Indiana fever system is not to her liking. There are moments when I long to return to college. At a fantastic time. I'm not sure if the Fever will win a game without Caitlin Clark. In the absence of Caitlin Clark, I doubt the Fever will win another game. I mean, I do occasionally wish I could return to college. Fun was had. Kate, went well, Tom. The Indiana Fever system isn't her thing, dude. Especially in situations where the ball is not in play. That doesn't have to take place. The woman I missed, Lisa Blutter. They ran the offense in a way that she missed. How come people are still unsure on where to go in the workplace? I'm in awe. She was missing Lisa Blutter. They ran the offense in a way that she missed, especially in situations where the ball is not in play. Before the ball enters the game, we will foul, which is one thing. Even now in a professional setting, I wonder how people don't know where to relocate. It's like mind-blowing. She was missing Lisa Blutter. They ran the offense in a way that she missed. She didn't see anything at all. It was a lot like that at the college level. We are renowned to always have 5 shooters on the court, as is the case with all Iowa attacks. We used excellent floor spacing during our game, and Iowa did the same. 4 players were on the court at once, and while we typically used a true post, they hardly ever missed 2 shots. And, dude, she simply revealed the truth. She was missing Lisa Blutter. They ran the offense in a way that she missed. She didn't see anything at all. It was pretty much the same at the college, where I would always put on that we had 5 shooters on the court at all times. We had excellent floor spacing when we played, and the same was true at Iowa. If there were 4 players on the floor who could shoot at the same time, we would typically play with a real post, but they also hardly ever miss, as if a man had never missed. As Hannah Stokey was amazing while I was there as well, as were our backup post players. For example, I always consider how Coach Bluter oversaw practices and other matters. I'm going to watch other colleges immediately. Methods. She made a conscious effort to ensure everyone understood their roles and was in agreement. I often consider how Coach Bluter conducted practices and other things, and I feel quite fortunate to have that memory. And I'm going to observe the procedures of other colleges and other things immediately, such as visiting other institutions to observe their practices and such. She was quite deliberate in making sure everyone was on the same page, that they were on the same page and understood their roles and what they were doing. I feel like I only saw drops in college. I didn't see many shows, and when I did, we would run the play C. My brain is inscribed with it. We always knew exactly what to do, and it always worked. In the workplace, that isn't effective. The play may succeed once, but not next time. All I seem to remember seeing in college was a dip. I hardly ever saw a show, so that's all I saw. We would run this one play if I saw a production, like here and there. It was known as C. It's actually etched in my mind. It is crazy, right? We know they're displaying this play. We're operating in C professionally. That doesn't work, it was said, as in, fine, okay. The play might be successful one time, but not the next. It won't function the second time you run it while you're playing. I would have an immediate edge at Iowa if I cut up the floor and got hit while running. There are moments when I wish I could return to college. Fun was had. I had a fantastic time. In contrast to the challenges I encountered today, the way we played then was a wonderful fit for me. Even if they did, I would just slice up the floor and get whacked since no one really picked me up. Full court on the run, right? And I would have an immediate edge there. I'm not sure then. Sometimes I wish I could return to college, but it was just awful. Fun was had. I had a fantastic time. People are going to be looking at this after it is publicized through this opinion piece. People I didn't consider it at work, and they're going to go into the chin going, "You were unable to perform that?" However, if Trump discusses this publicly and doesn't only address the non-basketball playing, he could potentially come across as an idiot. Concerns Smith is right, thus it would be best to tone it down. People will start looking at this once it is publicized, and this is done through this opinion piece. The reaction will be, didn't think about it. In my workplace, you couldn't do that. However, let's face it, Trump could also make himself comfortable, appear foolish if he tackles this head-on, and doesn't only deal with the problems that don't relate to basketball play. He will appear silly if he talks about getting fouled or being hauled to the ground, if a government official wanted to make a big issue out of it. However, they could check into what's going on off the ball and how Clark is handled. Should he mention getting fouled, being thrown to the ground, or going to the basket and being knocked down? He will lose his base because Trump is adored by sports fans and seems silly. However, sports fans are also aware of sports and what transpires in them. In the event that he is aware of, hears, and has proof of events involving Caitlin Clark outside of the 40 minutes she spends on the court at work, you will have a problem when she returns. I believe they haven't beaten the Fever since 2023. Sophie Cunningham gave a press conference. We also received some injury updates. But this is a definite focus. The Fever is different without Caitlin. Because when Caitlin Clark returns, believe this will be the first time they have beaten the Fever since 2023. At this point, Sophie Cunningham addressed to news. We also received some injury updates. Showboating, she frequently engages in showboating. Additionally, it seems absurd to me. She lacks the structure and leadership she possessed in college, and it is evident on the court. The loss tonight served as a reminder of how difficult it is for the squad to function without her and how the current coaching isn't providing the same outcome. After the loss, Caitlin Clark was seen walking. Do you know what's going on? It's time to demonstrate. It's Caitlin Clark here, immediately following the match. This video has surfaced showing Caitlin Clark backstage. It's footage. Someone said, "I saw you on the show with Jason Woodlock." Thank you, dude. I was on there. How was the shiner obtained? How she acquired that black eye is beyond me. It was only a question of time until someone made the observation. Making sure that everyone is safe at work is something we are very involved with. Now we have to make sure that everyone is content and healthy. Say nothing. Caitlin Clark was the next person it would eventually target. Time was on the horizon. I have the impression that Tit was, in fact, believed that someone pointing this out was only a matter of time. As you can imagine, we take great pride in ensuring everyone's safety at work. At Radio 1, where I used to work, they once told me, "Don't even mention somebody's shoes." Oh, you have really great shoes. But we need to make sure everyone is content and healthy now. In the office. So, did I say nothing? Well, it was just a question of time until Caitlin Clark was next. Indeed, it is. Time was on the horizon. However, this is a reach in my opinion. This might be too much. Sean McLaren, a former employee of the White House, wrote a column for the Wall Street Journal is urging a federal investigation into possible civil rights abuses in the WNBA's treatment of Golden Goose, Caitlin Clark, its players, and its administration. I don't know. Former employee of the White House, Sean McLaren. He wants a federal investigation into possible human rights abuses involving the WNBA, its players, and its leadership. And he wrote an article in the Wall Street Journal, taking care of Caitlin Clark, the Golden Goose. I think that's a reach I observe in the strange world we live in today. Yes, I understand. At the professional level, even today, if we went back to 2020, how, for example, do people not know where to relocate? I'm in awe. In light of that, I am quite grateful for what Coach Bluter accomplished. When we were in Iowa, she was incredibly intelligent. She was able to assemble the team and ensure that everyone, regardless of skill level, always knew what they were supposed to do, even now in a professional setting. I wonder how people are unsure about where to relocate. I still find it mind-blowing. However, I believe it only serves to increase my gratitude for the things that Coach Blutter did for us at Iowa. As if she were so intelligent. Her ability to build a team and ensure that everyone always knew what they were supposed to do was impressive, regardless of whether you were the team's smartest basketball player or not. Indeed, we don't have many intelligent players. That's another thing, though. Take a listen to Caitlin Clark discuss the criticism she receives. Over her turnover, I wasn't exactly picked up full court. Even if they did, however, I would be at an immediate advantage if I simply cut up the floor and got hit while fleeing. There are moments when I wish I could return to college. Fun was had. It was Anfin. In contrast to the challenges I encounter today, the way we played then was a wonderful fit for me. That's not effective, as in nice. All right, the one that the next time you play, it won't work, even though it worked the first time. The second time you run it, it will not function. No one actually picked me up full court, and even if they did, I would merely rip the floor to pieces and then get hit while evading capture. And I'd be at an immediate advantage. I'm not sure. Then, even though I occasionally wish I could return to college, I feel like it was just fun was had. I had a fantastic time. I understand. My point is that you need a strategy since the way you play is so... Oh, the loss this evening was absurd. Blatantly ignorant. This loss was blatantly foolish. A disgrace to both the team and the enthusiast community. There was nothing to defend the Fever. Everyone on the Mercury roster caught the illness. Someone said, I can't handle these losses. My blood pressure is so high. You guys, tonight's loss was absurd. I mean, blatantly ignorant. This was a blatantly foolish defeat. The humiliation of the team, a source of shame for the supporters. Right now, I'm telling you, oh my God. I should point out that there was no defense for the Indiana Fever. I mean, all of the Mercury players received him off the Fever. Every single guy on their fucking roster. Exercise caution. People are going to be watching once this is publicized. People will say something like, I didn't think about it. You couldn't do that in my workplace. Better tone it down because Smith is right. There, and it's now visible through this opinion piece. People will be observing and going into the chin saying, aha, I didn't give it much thought, but then you couldn't do it at the office. It's a problem if Trump is aware of what's happening with Caitlin Clark outside of the game, has information about it, and has proof of it. I don't know if the Fever will win another game based on what I saw tonight. He will seem silly and he will lose his base because sports fans love Trump. He will be fouled, taken to the ground, going to the basket, and getting knocked down. But the team isn't the same. My God, Sophie Cunningham is like that. Damn game without Caitlin Clark at this point. I just have to be honest. I have to be honest. I don't know if the Fever will win another game without Caitlin Clark. My God, I seriously doubt it. Sophie Cunningham is like that. So I'm going to talk about it for the sake of not criticizing the team too much. And whomever said that we content creators don't make a difference. You all remember the last game when Sophie Cunningham wasn't able to get the ball. So you're probably curious about what occurred when she reached the ball tonight. Getting the ball. You know what occurred when they handed the ball to Sophie Cunningham? Caitlin Clark's outspoken criticism of the offense is quite troubling since she might be claiming that the coaches are unsure of where to go. But it's simply her way of telling you that she doesn't like the Indiana Fever system. Dude, I wish Lisa Bluer had accepted the position in Indiana. The fact that Caitlin Clark is speaking out about the offense is really alarming because it's letting you know that she dislikes the Indiana Fever system, bro. What's even more surprising, Isis, that she might be stating that the coaches and other personnel are unsure of where to go. I sincerely hope Lisa Bluer would have accepted the position in Indy, even though I am aware that there were other reasons. Why she chose not go? Because Kayla Clark is a target. I understand that. But if you want your player to succeed at the next level, you would almost want to do whatever it takes to get her there. Being active and playing for games and then not. Getting irritated after working so hard during the offseason and doing nothing but rehab has been incredibly difficult. There have been some days that have been easier and some that have been really stressful. But being thrown into Game 30 without a training camp to build up, it's been incredibly difficult. Like playing for games and being active, then not feeling. Well, and then becoming irritated because I worked so hard during the off-season. I simply go to treatment and keep going through this process, trying to trust it as best I can. Of course, there are days when it's really difficult, okay? And other days when it's a little bit easier and you're really motivated and feeling like you're almost done with your recovery. But suddenly, it's as if you're thrown into Game 30 without any kind of training camp to prepare for playing your first game again. Like, go try to play well. It's hard. It really is. She also missed Lisa Bluer, the way they managed the offense, and Nishi dislikes the Indiana Fever system. Sometimes I wish I could return to college. It was enjoyable. I believe this is their first beating. She just said that she misses Lisa Bluer, bro. Once this gets out there, people will be looking. The Fever has been there since 2023. She missed the whole thing, the way they ran the offense. Sometimes I wish I could go back to college again. It was enjoyable. When Caitlin Clark returned, it was a good moment because, in my opinion, this was their first victory over the Fever since 2023. However, Caitlin Clark's vocalization and calling attention to the offense because it's expressing her disapproval of the system for Indiana Fever. Hey, Rot's best to calm down because Smith is correct after this is made public. And itis spread by this opinion piece, people are going to be watching. Now, people will go into the chin dot saying, yeah, you stand with where standing, Caitlin.